Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast with no name right now. I am your host, Isaac, and co-host, Rodolfo. What's going on, everybody? We're still looking for a podcast name. Rodolfo had some pretty cool... You had a good idea yesterday.
Yeah,
you brought up what...
It was just a thought. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I feel like we don't really ramble, but we kind of do.
Mm-hmm. We do ramble.
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes like we get lost in our thoughts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Like, how about like lost in thought?
Dude,
you know?
I really like that name, and I got so high last night. And I was just trying to come up with a good name, dude. And
tell them the one you told me.
It's so embarrassing, but okay, so I was trying to think of like a cool name or like what it could be, and I was coming up with the corniest shit. And one of them, I was on the phone with Rodolfo, and I was like, dude, I don't like what I came up with. He's like, tell me what you came up with, bro. And I'm like, it's embarrassing, dude, it's all I got. And I was like, I just feel like it's like a 15-year-old girl's book, you know? And he's like, come on, dog, it can't be that bad. So I say, inconceivable now. And it was, that's the best I could come up with. And it's a shame, dude.
Tell him the other one.
What was the other one? I don't remember. I was high, remember, so I don't know.
Becoming.
Oh, yeah. It was becoming. That's what it was. It wasn't the inconceivable now. Becoming. Hey, welcome everybody to Becoming. What are you becoming? Whatever you want to become, because this is what this podcast is about. But I thought about when I think about it, I just want to throw up The Fault in Our Stars.
I love that movie, by the way.
It's a good movie. You know what? I read the book.
Tearjerker for sure.
I read the book. It made me cry. I watched the movie. I hate that actress girl.
Mm-hmm. I don't know her name, but
I don't know her name. She made She's
from
Divergent and all. I read those books, dude. I used to be into those books. I used to read all those kind of books when I was younger, and Divergent was a really good one for me. And I feel like she ruined that movie, but so I just don't like her. Yeah. Because of that, which is really unfair. But anyways, the Becoming, because I was trying to think like, what are we doing? You know, I'm trying to become a storyteller. And you're getting into this world of photography, videography, sound design, everything, you know, like, and I was like, that's all I could come up with. Hi, Isaac. There you go. That's his thoughts. But then, as you know, like,
he came up with a good one.
Yeah. So smoking weed is not really like something that I do a lot of now, you know? So because whenever I smoke, and I know you have the same experience, bro, I'm like fractaling out, like, and that usually used to only happen with mushrooms, but I like fractal the fuck out, dude. And I start seeing fucking weird shapes and weird shit. And then I close my eyes and I'm just like, oh, it feels like I'm in a roller coaster through consciousness. And it fucking trips me out. So it's very hard when I smoke weed, and then I get panic attacks and shit. And which I don't really mind that much because I always realize something good about myself. But when I smoke weed, it definitely... I can't smoke every day, bro, or I'll be a crazy motherfucking person. Same. But anyways, yesterday I'm smoking. Oh, well, I smoked, and then 422, you know, come on. Can't be a bitch.
420.
Yeah. 420, yo. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just thinking about where I am in life, you know, like in this garage and what my life has accumulated up to this point. And I was thinking about all that, and I was just like, I was worrying a little bit, because, you know, I've been worrying about, like, our livelihoods, bro. Because you guys, if you don't know, Rodolfo, like, gives me so much of his fucking time. So I feel a lot of pressure that this has to be good, that we have to come up with something. And now we're spending more time on this podcast and all these things. So I was feeling really bad that I picked a fucking name, the Sideshow Podcast, and it was already taken by a student radio. Since 2003, yo. Yeah. So I was really kind of bummed out about that. And then I'm thinking, and I'm like, man, I was watching Carl Sagan's Blue Dot. I love that poem. And there's a really good video. That's one of my recommendations, Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan. And there's a really good video on Vimeo. It's the best version of it. And it just like makes you realize like how all these wars, all these people have come through this planet, right?
Yeah.
and their consciousness has been here, and some of them, like Hitler, they've changed the fabric of reality forever. And I'm thinking, like in the poem, it's about a pale blue dot, which is the earth, and where we are in the universe. And I'm like, bro, we're just a little fucking speck of dust in the Milky Way galaxy. So then the podcast name I came up with was Today in the Milky Way. And
That's good.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And I really love that name for the simple reason that no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening in your life, you have to remember how insignificant it really is in relation to like the cosmos, you know? And when you think about it that way, things are no longer that big of a deal, you know? And you can relax a little bit because it's just another day in the Milky Way, baby.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And is that one?
No.
Just another day in the Milky Way.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like that podcast kind of suits us because like I do think about a lot of, I don't know, that pretty much we can talk about whatever we fucking want, really.
Pretty much.
And it's just like, and I like that, you know, just another day in the Milky Way, baby. And that goes for everybody, you know, like you're having a hard time, you're going through some shit, and you just got to remember just like one day at a time. And sometimes when you're forced to think about the cosmos and the galaxies and the stars, it alleviates a lot of what's going on in your life because you're just like, damn, bro, like I'm out here in the universe.
Yeah. People are over here tripping about staying home.
Yeah.
And doing some little shit in toilet paper.
And that's one thing that I miss about being on the bus, dude. Every night me and Alec would just look up at the stars. And I was really, for many of you guys that don't know, I'm a very spiritual person. You know. Even poor Rodolfo do sometimes. We'd force him to come do shit with us. In terms of like just weird spirit. Remember when I was like, yo, let's all touch knees together and make a triangle here in the fucking woods? And Rudy's like, I love Rodolfo because he's always game for shit, bro. Like he doesn't give a fuck, bro. He's like, yep, let's do this shit. And
right.
yeah,
right, yeah,
every time, dude. Which reminds me, do you remember that one time we were running around the city and we were like sneaking into all the rooftops and shit?
Yeah.
And that was hella fun, dude. But
you got a little bit of video of that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Actually, it's on the very first video where I say we're gonna take a trip around the world, and I introduce you and Alec.
Oh yeah,
it's in that video where you're like climbing up, breaking or entering.
I really liked that video. That was a really good video,
dude.
Everyone loved that.
Yeah, it took me a while to make, so it's really hard to make videos like that. Because they take like a week or two to edit and place everything together. But I'm trying to get on that grind. But yeah, so I figured Today in the Milky Way is a really good name because it reflects well upon everything, I guess, in a sense, and
going day-to-day life.
Yeah,
in the Milky Way.
Yeah, dude, and it does bring a nice little bit of like it takes some pressure off, I think, and just remembering that really reminded me of I used to be. Back when I was in the bus back in last November, I feel like I was really at ease with who I am as a human and my practices and my spiritual thoughts. And then when I moved back here, trying to make something happen, like this podcast, vlogging and all that stuff, I kind of feel like I forgot about all that.
Yeah.
And yesterday, smoking weed really reminded me of the things that I constantly forget. And I want the name of the podcast to remind me to like, hey, today's a day, you know, and it's just another day and all that stuff. So that's how I came up with it. And
okay,
you fuck with it though?
Yeah.
All right, so
I felt a little bit of Neil Tyson deGrasse in Neil that right there. I'm like,
man, I felt a little Neil Weeds Fern Tyson up in that shit, dude. Jeez. You want to drink to that?
I thought it was the water.
No. This is all alcohol, my friend. It's a fine tequila.
All right, so I think I really liked Today in the Milky Way. So I feel like
you want to give that introduction. We restarted the podcast. Well, not restart the podcast, but hit it up, start it from scratch.
Nah, bro. Like this is just telling people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, You say hello, my
Oh,
man. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Get it. And we'll drink to it. Because we got to christen the podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The first time we had the podcast name, we got faded. So let's not make that mistake. Let's just get semi-faded. These are Marine Corps shots. If you ever wanna take Marine Corps shots with your friends and stuff, you don't have to be in the Marine Corps. I'll allow it. If somebody says, "Yo, bro, you can't take no Marine Corps shot," just be like, "Hey, Isaac G said it was cool," and they'd be like, "Oh shit, Isaac said that, man. We cool,
Corporal
bro."
G?
Yeah, bro, demoted, dog. Corporal, demoted to corporal, baby. That's a long story, babe. So, what's it called? So let's drink to that. You introduced that podcast, baby.
All right, so I will. Dude, this is more of your thing. Let's have you do the honors.
No, you. I want you to do it.
Huh?
You know, just hey, everybody, welcome to the fucking.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. This is Rodolfo and your host.
And this is I'm your co-host, Isaac. Because it's backwards is tripping you out?
I'm the co-host.
Yeah, so you say...
I just said the host.
Yeah. Well, I'm your co-host, bitch.
All right.
If you're a host, then I'm your co-host too, stupid.
No, because I'm still your co-host.
Yeah, so I'm your co-host as well.
All right, so, hey, I'm your host, Rodolfo.
This is co-host, Isaac.
And welcome to the Milky Way.
Today is the
Milky Way.
Damn, bro, you're not even faded yet. All these people are going to be like, damn, fucking Rodolfo, dog. I'm not going to take it all. You okay?
Of course. Sin caritas.
Sin caritas. So, a Marine Corps shot. Everybody can do it. You grab your liquor of choice and then you pour it and you go 1, 2, 3, 4 Marine Corps. And then that's the pour. 1, 2, 3, 4 Marine Corps. And then however much liquor falls out during that, that's a shot.
But it has to be vertical.
But back in the day, that would be like how we started almost every night when we first moved in together. And we would be drinking like, well, when you moved in with us, it was more like 5-6 bottles a week, dog.
Dog, we were drinking
a lot
every day. I don't know how I made it to work every day.
Yeah, dude, and we had to wake up early, dude. I was going to school. I was working as a bar back. And Alec fucking working at LA Fitness and then he was doing that temp agencies. Because when we first all moved in together, we were broke as fuck, dude. We were just struggling to make rent.
Oh, yeah. He was with temp agencies.
Yeah. He was like forklift driving and all this crazy shit. And like, it was rough, dude. I remember we had to go to the fucking food bank, and like 1 month I like paid rent and I was like negative $27 the whole month just living off food bank food and going to my mom's house for dinner and shit. That's just the way it is, man.
Damn.
But
the struggles back in the day.
Yeah, bro. But you know what's good is like we were all working towards something good.
Yeah.
You know, like bettering yourself and shit.
I feel like I don't regret any of that. I mean, just 'cause like I feel like it's good to know the struggle, bro. Like, it's good to know the struggle, no matter like how long it sucked for, but like to know that we were there,
and now we're here.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I don't know. I feel like there's just a sense of like being more like I feel like you know yourself a lot better. Yeah, because of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. As a person.
I know what you mean. Yo, Rodolfo's trying to stop saying you know what I mean. So I'm about to figure out a way to make him stop saying it. Maybe I'll punch him every time he says it.
I should probably put Peanut's shock collar on there. Just
that would be so... What's it called? But yeah, man, and I really... living in that really, I guess, shaped who I am today in a way, you know, because it's like it was a struggle, but every time I feel like we got opportunities to like you fucking had a good job working construction, and it's a super respectable job, and you made a fucking ton of money.
Yeah.
Right. And there's so much and I feel like at every opportunity, you know, we always chose to follow the dream path, even if it was a fucking struggle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think just that whatever happened in those years of living together, first of all, they were dope, bro.
I had a great time.
That one time we had to recreate The Hangover. Do you remember that shit? When you, Dog,
Oh, in the morning.
Yeah, bro. We literally have like a hangover moment where we wake up and like Alex missing. There's blood everywhere, and there's hella drugs, bro. I'm talking about jars of weed, fucking like 4 bottles of tequila, cocaine, cigarettes, to like chewing tobacco, Black and Milds, yeah. And then we were like, where the fuck is Alec? And I almost died in the shower the night before.
Yeah.
Remember, you guys had to pull me out naked, bro. And I was red like a sunburn the next morning. And then and then
Damn,
dude,
bro.
and then just fucking going in the kitchen, and there's hella blood everywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck? And we're looking for.
I think I threw up everywhere.
Yeah,
too.
you did. And I was like, bro, it smells like puke. And then come to find Alec is like knocked out on the side of his bed. There's like blood on the lamp. There's blood all over the kitchen. And then, dude, fucking Alec, all he did was super glue his wound. I guess after you threw up, you didn't make it to the sink. And, you didn't throw up in the sink because there was dishes in the sink. Yeah. And you threw up all over the counter. So Alec tried to, after you guys pulled me out of the shower, Alec tried to fucking clean up your mess, and then he got hungry cleaning up your throw up because that's the type of motherfucker he is. And then he fucking somehow was trying to open something, and he slit his hand open. And all this guy does is super glues it and puts masking tape all over it. And then I remember the next morning when we were driving to get pho.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like this, but like, and we did not know what happened the night before. And how we got all the drugs that were in the house.
We were trying to piece everything together.
Yeah.
By, like, everyone's memory. Like, the little memory that we've had.
I have videos on I still have a lot of that in my Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do. And then the next morning, like, we're driving to get pho, and you're, like, passed out in the back of the car, and we're just fucking with you.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like,
Always
looking
sleeping,
for
bro.
we're, like, trying to follow the blood trail to find Alec, and, bro, it was crazy.
Yo, you know... Anna has she has like a library of videos or the pictures of me knocking out.
Bro, you
everywhere.
Sleep everything, bro. This weekend we took a drive down. Oh, by the way, we earned some points for the game because we left the state. We went on a nice little road trip. This weekend we went down to Oregon.
Oh, that's right.
We social distance, so do not trip, everybody. So we got those points. We went all the way down to Mount Hood, dude.
I need to print one out.
You should, cause I feel like we've just this weekend we knocked two items out of the quest out.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, we're playing this game that I created called Comfort Zone, and I'm playing it with a couple of my friends. It's a 3-month-long game, and it has various challenges in mental, physical, and just experimental stuff that kind of makes you get out of your shell. And the game,
comfort zone.
Yeah, and so I named the game Comfort Zone. I don't like the name, so if you can think of a better name, I will give you a price if we end up picking that name. $100 gift card for naming it. You want $100 gift card, bruh? I got you. Give us a better name than Comfort Zone, because I don't like it. Going off of all of that shit, dude. I was thinking about climbing when we were breaking into all those. Why were we? Oh, so I got connected a while back with this super dope graffiti artist. He's till this day, he's one of my favorite artists on planet Earth, you guys. His name is A-Cod, right? And he's filthy. And I would always be like, bro, who is this guy? Because he used to put these Apollo heads everywhere. And I found that to be very esoteric in a way of like what Apollo did for humans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm taking this as a moniker for what he's trying to do for art. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, and I see his art everywhere and I see his fucking stamp everywhere. Dog, like always, Rodolfo happens to know him. And this is what pisses me off about you, but in a good way. I'm building a fucking shed outside of my fucking garage, right? So I can put all because this studio, you know, there used to be tools and shit in here. So I have to build a shed with my bare hands. I know nothing about fucking woodworking. So I'm building this weird ass shed outside for like 3-4 days. And he's coming through, hanging out. And he's like, oh, like when I'm done and I'm like, it took me legit like 4 days to do this shit. And he's like, oh, bro, you forgot the support here. You should do this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't you used to work in framing? Don't you know a lot about carpentry? And he's like, yeah, bro, I did that for like 4 years. You motherfucker. This whole time you see me struggling. And then it's the same thing with this artist, right? Rodolfo knows him. He's trained them, whatever. They go to the same gym. It's when Rodolfo's used to be a super dope personal trainer extraordinaire. And
Boot camp instructor.
that's right. And award-winning gym too. It was a good gym. Anyways,
Yeah.
he knows him, and I'm always geeking out about him. And one day he's like, "Oh, dude, I know him."
I'll work out with them.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Bitch, connect me, dog." But the sad part about it, so I met up with this artist, and he was cool, and I wanted to do a short little piece on him. And I had gotten connections through to a video publisher called Narratively.
Oh yeah, I
At the
remember
time,
you talking
yeah, and
about
then
that at the time.
I was trying to get my piece put out there. So I have this whole pitch, and it's going good. And I go down and I meet him, and he turns out to be hella cool. His studio's dope. And then when we're set to film, the guy never replies back to me.
Yeah.
And he just left me hanging solo. But me and Rodolfo at the time, we started because I wanted to do this really cool video. So we were jumping in, going on all these rooftops where we were finding the art, and we were breaking and entering. And this is how I'm segueing into the fact that I was only able to get up on those rooftops and do all that stuff because you got us into rock climbing, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I remember, I remember when actually. So I wanted to rock climb forever. I just didn't ever have people.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, I'm like, dude, there's fucking climbing gyms, bro. Go try it out. And I remember the first day I went to a climbing gym, I went with Alec.
Yeah, I got ditched.
Yeah. So I went with Alec, and me and him went there, and it was like, I got hooked instantly. Alec was like, it was cool. I'm like,
Yeah, and then he ended up getting hooked anyways,
Right?
dude. We were climbing for a while.
Yeah, dude. And speaking about climbing, real quick recommendation. I love this documentary. I watched it probably like 30 times, and until this day, it still gets me hyped up. Valley Uprising.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valley Uprising is pretty much, it's a documentary on the progression of rock climbing through the years from like way in the 50s, but specifically in Yosemite.
Yeah, bro.
And then so
Go ahead.
watch it. It starts off slow, then it picks up, and then you're just like,
Dog, it does
fuck.
not start slow. That documentary's fucking 0 to 100 from the beginning, dude.
Dude, y'all need to watch it.
And it's filmed
It's so good.
as a aspiring filmmaker, storyteller. I feel like the way that it was shot and that they brought back these old pictures, they brought them back to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way
Oh,
that they did
yeah.
the effects,
Yeah.
it was so fucking good. So when Rodolfo was starting to get rock climbing, he made us watch Valley Uprising before we ever even went rock climbing,
Yeah.
and to get us into it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yo, that's some white people shit right there. You know, like that was my first thought about it. I was like, bitch. And same with Alec. But then once you took us rock climbing at the bouldering gym, bro, I was hooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude,
Dude, you guys,
it's a little-
bouldering and rock climbing is so fun, and the community around it is so cool, and it needs more ethnic people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mostly just white motherfuckers and white girls climbing and shit. Like, we need to
Yeah.
get some color up in this motherfucker, dude.
Mhm.
Like, there's maybe, like, at the whole bouldering gym, there's, like, 3 black guys. And then
There's no
how many
black
Mexicans
people,
did you
huh?
see? Maybe, like, 10, including us. So 7, you know?
I don't really see that many Mexicans
yeah.
there. But maybe
girls,
I'm not
though,
looking around.
I feel like girls, it's more mixed
Yeah.
in terms of climbing, but
Men, not as much.
yeah, for
I
the
mean,
most part, it's just white dudes, you know.
There are a lot of Asians, though. I see a lot of Asians.
Yeah, that's true. Asians be rock
That's
climbing.
because Seattle be loaded
Oh
with
yeah, a
them.
lot of ching chong ching chong. No, I'm just playing.
It's like,
All my Asian brothers, I love you. I actually was adopted by a Thai Asian family. Yeah, dude, the swan shows.
the swan shows.
Yeah, and I ate the fucking balut.
The balut.
Yeah,
Oh,
I ate the little chicken carcass, and then I was eating it just fine. It doesn't taste bad, but then I started feeling the beaks and the bones, and when I started
Yeah.
crushing the head, I was like, and then Nook was like, "Come on, bro, you got just do it." And I oh, bro, it was hard though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
like
feeling
it.
the head. It doesn't taste bad. It tastes delicious. But just eating the head.
I think the yolk was fire. It has so much flavor.
Yeah, it does. It really
And then
does.
I
It's chickeny too in a way.
Yeah, I
You know?
remember. So when I tried it, did you have like any type of sauce with it, or like not sauce, but like a little like
No, I mean this is all at the Swancho's house.
Yeah.
Cause you know they're super tired, like for real. So they always have shit like that. Like I'll be going down to their house and they got like chicken feet just hanging around. I'm snacking on that. I like chicken feet.
I like chicken feet.
Yeah,
too.
they're not bad, and snacking on all that shit. You know, they're the perfect people to go to dim sum with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like whenever you go to dim sum and you're not of Asian descent, they treat you like shit. But when you go to dim sum and you're with some Asians that
Hella
know
fob.
what the fuck is up. Yeah.
Hella fob, huh?
Exactly, bro. So they treat you like shit because that's their culture. But like you get your order super fast. You fucking they come and check up on you more and like, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I've broken up with girls over dim sum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say her name, but it was a Hispanic girl I was dating, and
I think I know who it is.
you know who it is. She had curly hair.
Yeah.
And
¿Cuál de todas?
I took her to dim sum and she's like, ew, what's this? Ew, what's this? And I was like, bitch, you're done. Like that.
On
Like,
the
how you gonna,
spot,
bitch,
huh?
what's this? I broke up with a girl over Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I take this girl. We've been dating for about 3 months and I really liked her. I take her to Korean barbecue and she goes to the sidebar and she starts grabbing like, you know how on the best one in Federal Way, which is the buffet,
Yeah.
how they have the sidebar to fill you up so you don't get the good meats.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, she grabs like fried rice and like General Tso's chicken. I think they have some of that shit in there. And like they just have like a little buffet of like Asian food that's cooked. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm not cooking my own food. And I was like, what? That's what Korean barbecue is. You know? Like,
People,
what
man.
the fuck? And then she's like, first impression, we gotta cook our own food. And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's delicious. Let me show you. And she's like, no. And she's like, what are we some poor people? I'm like, this is not poor people thing. This is a culture thing. I broke up with her like 2 days later.
Huh.
I didn't want to tell her it was over that, but it was literally over that.
Jeez, bro. I feel like once you go to like Korean barbecue and you cook your own thing, you have control over how your meat comes out.
Everything, bro. And
I don't get it.
Oh, the kimchi, the
Mhm.
fermented fucking cucumbers, the fermented bean sprouts, and you just make your little plate. Pop, pop, pop. Bro, I love that shit,
Huh.
dude.
I remember when we went that time with when I went with you and Vanessa and
Yeah.
Alec,
bro,
remember?
what the fuck? We did
Bro.
a hard hike, dude, or something like that.
we did something, but we
Yeah.
went, bro. Who was it, dude? It was me, Alec, and Callie, bro. We were destroying.
Yeah, and you guys always make so much fun of me because I can't eat that much. You guys, I'm big, but I have a small appetite. So, like, these guys will eat like 3-4 plates because it's a buffet, and I only ever eat 2 plates.
Bro, I was actually surprised at myself of how much I ate, but like, dude, Callie
She
was,
eats more
dude,
than me,
she
yeah.
was
I love her.
downing, and then I remember Potts, bro. Potts like had like probably like a bowl or two,
Yeah.
and she was done, and she was like when we got back home, cause we were living together at that time.
Yeah.
When I got back home, bro, she's all like, I don't know what the fuck were you guys putting all that food, but
For
like,
real, bro, y'all eat crazy shit, dude.
dog, we were.
For chesty.
Dog, we were like 3 seconds. We were like probably like 3 meats away from getting kicked out from how much we were eating.
Dude, they know Alec. Everywhere we go, that you can eat as much as you can. They know Alec. At the dumpling house, bro, they used to have this giant red pig. At Mama's Dough.
Mm-hmm.
Best Chinese food, dumplings.
Very
Actually,
good.
best Chinese food in Seattle, period. It's in Renton. So if you listen to this podcast and you're from
The Great
Seattle,
Wall.
check out Mama's Dough. It's fucking amazing. And then we can stop it and
Yeah.
restart it. Just don't
We
stop
stopped at
that. Mama's Dough.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Action.
And Mama's Dough, bro, let me tell you, is like straight full of like the nicest real Chinese motherfuckers ever. So if you go look at their menu, you're not gonna know what the fuck half of that food is because it's real Chinese food, and it's delicious, dude. And their dumplings are amazing too. Alec ate 80 dumplings one time. 80.
That's a lot of fucking dumplings.
You know,
80
80
dumplings,
dumplings, yo.
bro?
And the guy was like, "What the?" And they know him, so like whenever we go, whenever I'm with Alec, everybody ignores me. So just like, and I go to Mama's Dough way more than Alec. They don't fucking know me because I just have like 2 orders of dumplings. It's like 20 dumplings max that I can eat. And then Alec is just like boom, 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 just stacking dumplings, bro. The guy goes to the back, grabs this fucking red dumpling pig, gives it to us. He's like, "You win."
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like that. Like they fucking just know him, you know.
I get competitive when I'm with
Alec.
With Alec.
Yeah.
I wanna out eat him.
It's so funny
time
because
it's
he's
so
like,
bad.
he gets competitive even with fighting, and like Alec's a big motherfucker, dude. Remember when you guys would play hit for hit?
Yeah.
And like it's not because you're small. It's just Alec is a specimen. He's
big.
a human specimen, and like his whole life is just getting buffer and faster. And like anytime Alec punches you, you will bruise no matter what.
Oh yeah.
And these guys are playing hit for hit, and Alec is hitting Rodolfo as hard as he can, and he's literally dropping Rodolfo. Like I'm saying, from an arm punch, Rodolfo is on the floor, gets up, and he's like, "My turn." And Alec's like, "Yo, bro, chill out." And then Rodolfo's like, hits Alec, and Alec just like, I mean, it hurts, but he just eats it. And then he hits Rodolfo, and Rodolfo just keeps getting up to where we're just like, "Hey, we're not playing this game anymore because like you're literally physically getting hurt. Your
like
arm was just like, yeah."
Bro. I was like,
even when
I just can't let him win.
Yeah, dude. Even when I spar with Alec, I'll teep him up, dude.
Yeah.
But
Deep.
if I see my body, it's just covered in bruises after.
Right.
You know, so like, he's just solid, and it hurts to hit him.
It does.
That's what I
remember
hate.
when I would hit him. Honestly, I think next time, dude, I can drop him. But I'm gonna have to wrap up my wrist, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like
dude.
the reason why I couldn't hurt him because when I would hit him, my wrist would bend a little bit.
Really? And Rodolfo hits hella hard, yo. This guy literally, every time we go to one of those punching machines at any bar, who breaks the record, Rodolfo?
What?
Yeah, he fucking breaks the record. He hits hard, bro.
Bro, remember last time we went to the bar?
Yeah. He beat me by like 80 fucking points on that thing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And you broke the record, and then the drunk ass guy was trying to break.
Right?
I was like, yo, you're gonna break your
teddy
hand.
bear punches,
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
Not only that, remember when the dude came up? There was the dude that came up, and because I broke it.
Oh, and he was paying for all of us, right?
The other guy was like, bro, he broke it. And then this fucking big dude comes up,
that
like,
Asian
look,
guy, right? Or he was black?
Nah, he was black.
Oh yeah.
But
I
he
know what
was
you're
a gangster looking dude, and he came over, he's like, who broke it? You broke it? He's like, I'm like, yeah, that was good. I'm like, bro, here, let me put the dollar in for you real quick.
Yeah, I remember. And I think he paid for us for a little bit too to play that game.
Yeah.
Was that the same black guy, or was it?
No,
Asian guy?
it was the
like
black guy that yelled out for him.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he just broke it, and then I came and broke it.
But that's besides the point, bro. Like Alec and Rodolfo get competitive.
Hella,
There's
bro.
so many times
I just can't let him win.
on like my Snapchat, because that's the dirty shit happens, you know. I would pit them against each other, and I would literally start my Snapchat feed by being like, "I'm gonna make them get in a fight tonight." And you just see the slow progression of the night until we're in our apartment, and these guys are like full on like fucking sumo dropping each other to the floor, because just Alec hits hard, right? But Rodolfo can fight. We grew up fighting, so like they're a pretty good match. You know what I mean? And like they're just going full on out, full fucking each other up. And I'm just I was like, I told you guys, you know, like,
right?
and
Always,
so many
bro,
times, bro, I just make you guys fight.
Scheming.
I honestly don't even know why you guys fuck with me, because I'm such a mean friend. You know what I mean? Like, in many ways, I'm a good friend. But in many ways, I'm a fucking asshole to you. You know what I mean? But
I think we just have thick skin, bro.
yeah, I mean, you guys fuck with me too, man.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to the thing, like, I would have never been able to break into all those fucking rooftops if you hadn't bring me into the climbing world, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even now, dude, for a big guy, you know, like I get a lot of compliments for my climbing and shit, and I think you just help out with my climbing technique and doing all these really good fucking climbing exercises.
Yeah,
and,
you were getting good, bro. I saw you doing some shit, especially with in the caves.
Yeah, like for a big guy. Well, and this is what I don't like is people are always like, "Damn, bro, you're hella good for being so big." Even with like Rudy, you see me, bro. I can throw all those crazy fucking Karate Kid kicks, bro.
He gets like up to my fucking face.
I can
man.
snap kick. I can 360 snap kick. I can fucking throw like just crazy like karate kicks that you see in fucking movies. I could do all that shit, and like it's frustrating when people are like, "That's pretty good, bro, for a big guy." You know, and same with the climbing. You know, people are like, "Bro, you climb like you're 130 pounds," and I'm like, "That's an insult. I work hard for this shit, bro." Like you, and what's good about having like your two best friends or personal trainers is like we developed like our workouts around climbing for a while. You know what I mean? So like, I do attribute a lot of like my climbing skill to you guys for just helping me in our normal workouts, just fucking get better at climbing, and. I mean, do you remember how like our kick it weekends were when you and both Alec were personal trainers, and you guys had the keys to your gyms? We would just get fucking hella drunk at the gym, and just lift all night.
Dog.
Yeah. Like the first time I
let's go drunk.
Yeah, first time I deadlifted, the first time I deadlifted 405, I was drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good form, good everything.
Dog, I'm telling you, bro, the fucking devices be getting people strong and shit, low key.
Yeah, low key they do. I love drunk boarding. I learned drunk boarding in Japan, and
Did
we
you
would
fuck your shit up one time drunk boarding.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared to get. I can't get past 35 miles an hour anymore.
No.
I just get so scared. I felt so bad. I was fucked up, dude. I was fucked. But the worst part is like when you hurt your knee, it takes forever to heal.
Yeah.
And like you remember when I fell that one time, and like all the skin on my shin and up to my knee was gone.
Over by.
It was. I was
over by the house. No.
No.
When they were building the warehouse.
No, when we used to break into the warehouse. Remember also when we found that empty warehouse.
Oh, we started skating inside of it.
Yeah. So we found this empty warehouse with the nicest concrete, and then me and Rodolfo.
Smooth.
Yeah. So we used to live not only behind a porno theater, but by this complexes that were getting renovated. So they tore down all the houses, and like all these warehouses were going up.
Yeah.
And me and Rodolfo would break into it. Do you remember that one time we got hella fucked up drunk, and you're like, "Bro, I can drive this machine," and it was one of those weird forklifts that puts people up that can go up to like 60 feet.
Oh, yeah.
And we found the keys to it. And this guy, bro, this motherfucking guy gets into this blue machine and just starts fucking working the lift. And it's just going up. I'm like, "What are you doing, bro? We're going to call a company." You're like, "Bro, let's ride this motherfucker." Yo, that shit was hella fun, dude.
Dog, I didn't even use the key. Remember? I'm all like, these bitches turn on hella easy.
Yeah.
And I fucking stuck something in there. And
You're right. I forgot about that. Where we found the keys was in the forklift inside the fucking warehouse.
Yeah.
And this, bro, I'm longboarding, and this guy's over here just driving a forklift. I'm like, what? What are you doing? Yeah.
But the other ones were the boom lift.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's called.
Yeah, so the forklift is the little thing with the forks.
Yeah.
And the boom lift is like you're in like the chariot thing.
Yeah. That shit goes hella high, dude. It's a big ass piece of machinery too, dog.
I used to drive those on a daily back when I was in construction.
Damn. And you couldn't help me build my fucking shed.
Right? Well,
you're an asshole, bro. I sometimes I wonder what goes through your fucking head when you see your friends struggling at something that you're an expert at. And you don't even say, "Hey, let me help you." Or like, "Hey, you should do this instead of this."
I'll be looking at you and be like, "Man, look at my friend learning some life skills."
It probably never even crosses your mind, you fucking asshole. But anyways, going back to the climbing thing, dude. How's that going?
It hasn't. That's the bad part, man. The COVID, but like lately. Dude, I've been itching to get out there. Like, dude, I want to climb so bad, dude. Like, I'm like, I just like sit down. I'm like outside and like peanut running around and shit. And I'm just like, oh, how I miss climbing.
I have a question. How do you think that affects like your day to day, like in terms of life? Because like right now you're just working hella hard, and I know this is a creative outlet for both of us.
Yeah.
And all the filming we do on the side. But like, how does that, like not being able to do your physical thing affect you?
Dude, believe it or not, it sounds I think it's hitting a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuz I feel like I, f- I feel like it's one of those things that like when you do, like you're hooked, right?
Mhm.
And then it's like someone taking it away from you and you can't do it.
Uh-huh.
And then you're just kind of like you're like, "Shit, I want to go do it." Like I really want to go do it. And it's kind of it like I'm not going to say I'm like depressed about it, but like I'm down about not being able to do it cuz I want to do
Really?
it so bad. You
I
know what I
gotcha.
mean? And I think right now like if you even get caught trying to climb out one of like the climbing spots,
Mhm.
like it's like $1,000 fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
That's
Well,
what I heard.
I
That's
kn-
what
well,
that's
I
what I
know
heard.
the week that we went to Mount Hood is they had just opened the parks back up, and the rule. Sorry, the rule that was in place was you just have to keep it moving.
Yeah.
You can just stop and chill.
Yeah.
So they did open the parks back up, and in Washington we sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, just because that's the rule, are we taking advantage of it? Because we did go, right?
Yeah.
Right, and I mean it's me and you and like two other people. We kept our distance quarantine wise, and we kept it moving. We followed the rules, but like, they did open all the parks back up. They opened back up, and you just gotta. The rule is keep it moving and keep your fucking distance.
Yeah.
So we did do that. So that's new as of now in Washington, and that's what it is, man.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I need to talk to some climbers. I need to be
Yeah.
around some climbers.
By the way,
I need
how
to-
good did it feel to go outside when we
It
went
do.
to this? Oh, dog,
There's just something about
Even most of the time we were just in our car because we went all the way out of state lines.
Yeah.
But
Well, remember how y'all were like waving at me, and I thought you guys were just waving at me, just being like good friends and shit. I didn't know y'all were telling me to get the fuck up here. Well,
yeah,
like I was chilling by the water. I was chilling by the waterfall, bro. And like, dude, it felt so
Yeah.
nice. It felt so nice just being at the like
in nature.
dog.
and shit.
I'm literally at the edge of this waterfall, like 75 feet up in the air, and I'm just chilling. Like I'm like, I hear the waterfall, like
Yeah.
just the stream, and then like low key, I can faintly like hear these guys, and they're like waving, and I'm over here like.
We're trying to tell you, you gotta keep it moving, bro. Because the park rangers were, I didn't see them, but the other guy saw them, and they were like, "Yeah, man, just keep it fucking moving."
Yeah.
That's the rule, you know. So we were like, "Rudolph, oh, come on back,"
And I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
just sitting there. But yeah, besides that, so well, going back to the whole thing because I am going crazy without, you know, whenever you do pads with me sometimes, you know, because you know how to hold pads and I would say I'm a lifelong martial artist, and I will
Definitely
continue to be a martial artist. Not that I'm like a filthy fighter and shit like that, you know, but I can get down. And I go crazy when I don't have like sparring partners or people to just train with, you know, before
Yeah.
like at the climbing gym, I used to just fucking spar with Paulo every single time I fucking went. You know what I mean? And I just haven't found a school that I like, to be honest, here in Washington.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to pay $150 for a martial. I know that's the price now, but bro, I grew up doing fucking martial arts since the early 2000s. So for me, like, the average price for any fucking class, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, fucking whatever you want to do, is like $80.
Yeah.
Then I go up to Japan, right? And it's now, when I was living in Japan, $85 fucking dollars. Jiu-jitsu and MMA, both of them. And then I go down to the dojo. So it's hard when I come back to the States, and now it's a fad. And it's $150, and then you're training with people that I guess that can afford it, because that washed out a lot of people that can't afford those type of classes.
The rugged motherfuckers.
And then you're training with people who are just like, at least here in Washington, a lot of my experience is like that are super fucking wealthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, definitely, man.
And
Definitely.
I not that I have a quarrel with that, but they're not my type of people to train with, because they don't fucking push it. And I'm not talking about pushing it like you hurt each other or whatever. That like proper training techniques where you don't hurt your partners. But that gives you a nice
little challenge.
And not that, just like when you're training, it's just like, Sean, I'm done. I'm not doing these fucking reps. How about you fucking go till you throw up, you fucking bitch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just doing push-ups, bro. Like, so like most of the schools that I found out here are like family gyms in that way, where like people.
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of like a cool thing to do, you know, like going to Starbucks with your fucking baby or some shit like that. And most people aren't in it to like learn to become killers. They're just in it for just the social points, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the schools that go hard as fuck, right? I'm not talking about sparring. That's so completely different. Because if you spar and you like knocking each other's brains out, you're fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not
You're
smart.
training. You're supposed to like help each other develop better. You know what I mean? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about people that go hard on the paint. You know, that are fucking like they take this seriously, and there's not a lot of people that do that at the schools that are more affordable because they're family schools now. And then the ones that go hard on the paint, you know what I mean? Obviously, they have a way better name, and it's $185 a month. Yeah. I cannot afford that right now. So I have, like, you to train with. You know what's up. Alex to train with. He knows what's up, you know. And he does the conditioning for that martial arts school. So whenever I get to go train with them, they know what's up. They're super cool. And it's just like, well, fuck, man. Like, I don't have $185. Yeah. And then, but you meet hard motherfuckers, you know,
you do.
Like along the way, and then you train with them because they're cool. And once they're like, oh, you know how to train, you know how to hold pads, you know how to like push me, but not like hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then once you meet people like that are like-minded and stuff. So right now, bro, I don't have any of that. So I'm going crazy to the point where I'm teaching Callie how to hold pads.
Yeah, it's gone to that point?
Dude, yeah. Shit. So we're like out in the fucking driveway, bro, and she's holding for the kicks, but I can't even do she's holding Thai pads. So I'm trying to, you know, Thai pads is completely different from just holding normal boxing pads. So like I'm trying to teach her how to hold Thai pads. And the other day I go to kick and she didn't brace herself. Yeah. And I'm not kicking that hard, you know, because it's my fucking girl. And she didn't hold it right, and so she just took the kick, and the Thai pad snapped back and just boom, just cracked her lip open. She's fucking bleeding everywhere. Yeah. I'm like, fuck. So
she got a little taste of life.
but going back,
and you kick hard, bro. I remember even with I would hold the pads for you, and I would have the bodyguard on. Bam, bro. Even with the bodyguard, he kicked, bro. He dropped me. That shit hurt.
Well, my Taekwondo master was like it was all about combat Taekwondo, right? So like in America, for most places, the Taekwondo that's popular is Olympic, right? Mm-hmm. So they teach you how to kick, but tap, because Taekwondo for the most part out here is very Olympic oriented. So in the Olympics, you know, you want, if your kick lands, you get the point.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is that a lot of the times those kicks are not strong at all. They just get you points. So the Taekwondo school that I went to was a Hapkido / Taekwondo school. That's her mascot. Mm-hmm. Fucking Peanut. Fucking, you know, she's a little cute ass little pit bull. But so my Taekwondo master, bro, he was legit like the Cobra Kai master.
Oh yeah.
So he was like, yeah, bro. So like whenever you throw your fucking kicks, they're loaded, but you have to be quick with it and all that stuff. And so, like, that's a style of Taekwondo that I took for fucking, like, almost 10 years. You know what I mean? And my master in 2005 had, like, a world record for, like, fucking the leg press. He used to be a bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so he's this big fucking guy. His name was, he was cool. He almost became my dad, too, but that's another story. And bro,
I remember that story, bro.
Bro, on site, this man could knock down a heavy bag on the chain just with a back kick, and he would have me doing just round kicks and back kicks because I'm heavy, right? So if you learn how to put your whole weight into a kick, and like just like a good snap, you can do a lot of damage. So like, in a way, he was trying to get with my mom, but every time after class, right? I would go to fucking Taekwondo like 4 times a week. Every time after class, my mom would come pick me up. They would get coffee, and he would start my timer. And my timer was the 10,000 hours for round kicks and back kicks.
Yeah.
So I would sit there and I would throw like through 100 each leg. So I would have to throw 400 kicks into the bag while he and my mom are fucking chatting it up. But he always had like the eye on me. He's like, that's not good form. That one doesn't count. And I'm like, fuck, dog. And like, so once everybody left, I would have to clean the fucking dojo, fucking do the little dojo ritual, and then I would start my kicks, right? So I would be there for like 2 hours sometimes because I would get tired. I'm like, I need a break, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a punching bag set aside just for me that I was only allowed to kick. And
just you, huh?
Yeah, this red punching bag. It was the worst punching bag anyways, but and I would kick it, and he's like, when you knock that down, you know, like, I'll give you your fucking brown belt. And that, bro, I got my brown belt, bro. I knocked that bag down one time. I was so fucking happy. Yeah, but it was just from fucking time, not from strength.
Yeah.
Even though I could. So,
well,
yeah.
Isn't that how your brown belt gets brown? Over time, it
it's
becomes mildewy and dirty,
yeah,
and
dude.
it just turns brown.
But yeah, like, even in that, dude, they used to go hard as fuck. So, like, in my sense of, like, what martial arts should be, it's like you're fucking pushing your body, bro. Like, they used to beat our shins with the little sticks to break up the muscle.
Oh.
They used to stretch you, and they're like, stop fucking crying, just fucking stretch, you know, like.
Little side note real quick. I actually need to strengthen up my shins again.
Yeah.
Because I hit my shin today with, like, and it's stupid. You know the little, like, box taper things?
Yeah.
I was taping a box that the tape came undone.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like, did it hella fast. But as I did it hella fast, I, like, fucking hit my shin hella hard. And I was like, fuck. And it wasn't that big of a hit, but, like, my shin felt it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking pussy, bro.
Yeah, you're a bitch. But I mean, I still, like, from time to time, you know, I'm like fucking smashing up my shins and stuff. So, like, I feel like every other day I have to do some type of, like, martial. But, like, with the lockdown, it's so hard and I'm stressing. So I guess what I'm trying to get back to is, like, you know, like, how is it affecting you that you can't climb and be physical?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, dude, it's just.
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, I'm thinking, but I think Balboa can vouch for me on this one. I think it's gotten to the point where, like,
you're hate fucking her.
Pretty much.
Oh,
like,
Rudy, no,
I can't climb.
Yeah, shut up.
Fucking
You're like grabbing her head like a hole. What are you doing? Shh.
Putting 2 fingers up her nose, like a little 2-finger like undercling hold.
This isn't sex.
Right. But, like, I think mentally it is. I think mentally it is kind of, like, stressing me out.
Yeah.
'Cause again, like, you know, like, exercising and we're, like, working out releases, like, dopamines and, like, all that good stuff that someone needs to like, work, you know, just to, like, feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, right now, like, gym's closed. I don't have weights at home. I mean, I can run, but that doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that I can't climb and it doesn't give me that that satisfaction of a workout that I want.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I think mentally it is hard.
Yeah.
It's like someone just taking your hobby away. It would pretty much happen. How about for you though?
I feel it's the same. I've been riding my bike a lot, and that kind of takes the edge off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm still working out. Like, I got the 100 pounds right there.
Yeah.
And then I got the 35 and the 25 kettlebell. So that's been getting me through. And then I got 225 on the bar from the bus. So I still have all the workout. Alec pretty much built a mobile gym when we went on the road. I still have all that shit. So I try to get after it. I've been doing a lot more body weight stuff just because it's really hard sometimes to set shit up. So I've been getting after it in that way, but it is stressful. You know, I just love hitting pads, bro.
Yeah.
Or like just training, you know, like, hey, like let's work on fucking like catching jabs today. You know, like when we were at the apartment, we had that big ass space where we would just fucking fight all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
From time to time. So like not being able to have that is a little rough on me, and it goes with everything. So when me, Alec, and Rodolfo lived together, you know, we were the trifecta, and we would try to learn as much as we could from each other, and we try to develop like our own system of being, right? And this goes into our spiritual practice and spiritual beliefs which I don't know exactly what yours are, but I feel like all of our own practices and beliefs are accommodating to each other in ways, right? So things that we try to like develop in a way to be at ease and as a balanced human being, and this goes into like my belief system is like you need to develop your mind, so you need to push yourself mentally in a way, right? And then from there you also need to in a way develop yourself physically.
Yeah.
And this is all searching a sort of balance between yourself and if you believe you have a soul or whatever the fuck you think is your inner consciousness, your that inner voice, you know. So it's your mind, your body, and then you also have to besides those points, right? So you're a physical being in this reality, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, like this monkey thing must do physical things.
Yeah.
And your mind, if you believe you have a soul or whatever, or if you're just a consciousness, it needs to its in itself still be challenged in that way. It needs to be used. So mental, physical, and then besides those two things, you know, if you think of like the female part of the brain or whatever you want to call like creation, art, or self-expression, you know, that's
Yeah.
what makes being a life conscious being a beautiful thing is that you are you're not just an animal who's always like searching for food and all that stuff. You have thoughts beyond that, and that comes into creation, right? In the sense of like you need to express yourself in a way that makes sense to you in the way that you maneuver through reality. So for example, you like climbing, it is an art, you know what I mean? But besides that, taken away from the physical, why do you think that you know you found your calling in photography or videography, in this way of expressing yourself that it's capturing something very beautiful, you know, and it's an art, right? And that's the third part of developing. And for me, like it used to be like writing poetry or writing or expressing myself in a way that I try to create something from like my pain or my experience or whatever it is, and now it's developing into like storytelling.
Yeah.
And I think having those three areas as a human like brings a balance of happiness and completion upon whether you want to call it soul, consciousness, or experience, whatever the fuck. You know, I think those three things are essential to make a complete happy human being. And right now I feel like the physical part of it is just been extracted from our lives because we can't go out, we can't do all these things, and you can try to mitigate, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like I'll do some fucking push-ups or crunches or whatever, but like I cannot express how nice it was just to go to that fucking waterfall this weekend and just like quick look at let's look and then drive off. You know what I mean? Keep it moving, baby.
I feel like going out and actually like being outdoors, I feel like it does something to you.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
But no, I feel like it does something to you that like I don't really know how to explain it, but like just going out there, being around a big body of water that's like not the ocean, like I mean being around the water, but like Seattle is cool, but like it's different because you're still stuck in the city. But like I'm talking about like going out, like hearing the river, being out like in nature and just kind of like breathing the air. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it does something so
dick hard, bro.
All right, like that experience of being out there, not being around so much people, like there's just this calming feeling that brings, like, for me at least, it's very relaxing to me. I can go and I can just kind of like close my eyes, kind of like I was doing at the waterfall, chill, just kind of be in my thoughts and just relax.
Damn. Let's pause because I want to drink some wine, bro. You want some wine, Nut?
Yes.
All right, let's get that fucking wine, baby. All right, thanks for coming back with this wine, Rudy. I just filled the cup. Don't get too faded, my friend.
No, I gotta.
All right.
I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah. You tell me when.
When?
Oh shit, I want a little extra. But yeah, man, going off of like what you're saying. Interesting fact. Did you know that Japanese people have a thing called forest bathing, right? So you go into the forest, and the forest, in a sense, bathes you and cleanses you, right?
Okay.
And I feel like I can attest to that. But I guess my thoughts and feelings about it are a little bit more spiritual, more cuckoo, because I am that kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, you think it's cool if I talk about shit like that too during our podcast? Because sometimes I feel like in my spiritual practices and beliefs, I really don't like telling people what they should believe or how they should be. So it's kind of hard. I never tell anybody about it. Like, I'm super private. Like, you, Alec, and Callie are the only people that know.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
My beliefs and all that shit. So
I don't think you're telling anyone anything right now.
Okay.
You're just explaining what you do.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a difference.
Okay.
You're not being like those, those Bible thumpers and being like, no, it has to be like this.
Okay.
I feel like you're telling good experiences, and I feel like to me, I'm all ears.
Okay.
You know me, but I feel like I feel like you can speak upon it.
This is why I love you, bro. You're always just such an encouraging friend. You guys need to get yourself a Rodolfo in your life, bro.
Y'all need to get yourself a Isaac.
Shit. Dynamic duo. And then you guys need Alec to shape everything together, bro. Because I feel like I plan weird shit out. You are like, yeah, let's fucking do it. You give me the hype. And then we start doing it, but we're kind of retarded. Like, come on, let's be honest. We're kind of retarded. And then that's no offense to mentally challenged people. That's a different word, And then Alec is like, this is the fucking way we will. Every day you wake up at 6 a.m. and from 6 a.m. you eat these meals. You need these exact carbs. And then you work out your body heavy. So your mind is ready to fucking attain the reality that we must attain. And it's just like, move. And like, it's just on it, dude. So I feel like we're just a perfect trio in that sense. But going back to this whole forest bathing thing, like, there was a time I like it, and I learned about it in Japan. Same as I used to hang out with these Zen guys, and they were sun worshippers, and they would worship the sun.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember you telling me this like a couple years back.
So I used to live right next to the water in this camp called Camp Hansen, where I was stationed, but I used to work at this other camp called Camp Foster, and every day I would make my drive back home, and after a while I used to ride my bike.
Yeah. And
I came upon these like people who are doing like almost like Tai Chi type movements to the sun, and they would do it every day as the sun would set. And they taught me about like energy flow and why the sun is such an important symbol to them. But not in the sense like it was woo-woo, but it was also like a beautiful thing that they did every day, a practice that helped center them as human beings. And it was to remind you, like, again, today's another day in the Milky Way, and whatever you did today, whatever has been in the past, it no longer exists. When the sun goes down and when the sun comes up, it's a new day, it's a new opportunity, it's a new reality, and you choose what it's going to be and what it will become. And based upon that, these people would come and they would thank the sun, but they were also like super hardcore dope Zen people that would make me think crazy shit. But like they would sometimes they would get in the water, and in the water, I guess it's the easiest place to learn about like energy and flow, and you have to keep this like ball going that you create, and you just have to find a way to keep it spinning without like fucking up the flow of it. And then they're like, the water will teach you how to do it, so you have to kind of move with the water and the waves. And as the sun is going down, it's pretty cool, it's pretty trippy. And I used to go and I started doing that shit with them just because not only had I had a lot of issues at home with my partner at the time, but it was just a really cool experience, and it really did help me be in the now and all that stuff. And also there I met a guy that got me really into mushrooms, but that's another story.
I know that story
and
too.
He was a chicken trader, bro. He's from America. He fell in love with Okinawa. He was stationed there in the Navy, and back in the day, mushrooms in Japan were legal, so you can just go buy them at the store, like magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
And he fell in love with mushrooms, and what he started doing, he became a chicken trader. I don't know how it works, from that island to fucking South Korea. And
illegally or
no, like legal.
North of Korea is
yeah. But like that was his job. So he had like a chicken farm, and then he grew hella mushrooms, bro. So That's a whole nother story though. He tried to teach me how to surf. I was too fat. But anyways, when I came back to the States and I was looking into forest bathing myself. It's what I learned in Japan as well. One time I was high on mushrooms and I went into the forest, and obviously I'm on mushrooms, so I'm hallucinating a little bit, and I could see the trees going like this, but they were singing with me, like, and it was like a weird chant. And as the trees were going like this, I could see like all these like weird colors that were like all my negative weird emotions. I wouldn't say negative, but like it was like almost like a magnet that's like pushing you down into the earth, that's like a weight on you, right?
Okay,
like a weight on your shoulders. And as I was walking through the forest, I could see the trees just going like this, and that energy was just flowing into the trees, and they were like, thank you, thank you. And I just see like, and I felt so good, but like
they were taking the negative away from you.
Yeah, like lifting a weight off my shoulders, dude. And it was like,
do you think that has some effect on the trees?
I don't know, but they were thanking me for it. So again, I don't. No. You know what I mean? So
trees
like,
have such a thankless job.
They do everything, bro. But yeah, man, and before that, I would go even now whenever I trip out, like we have the spot where we go to. I'm not gonna say the name, the one where we got lost that one time we were on drugs.
Oh yeah.
That place, I always go there whenever I need some clarity, and I just go for a walk, and it does feel like it cleanses me. And I had been doing it before, just that specific experience. But after that experience, I'm like, whether it's woo woo or whether it's fucking not real or there's no science behind forest bathing, it works for me. And I love it. And even that's what I'm saying, like, how amazing was it just even being in that nature for however we were there, maybe not even an hour. And I feel like it did such a great thing for me, like just in how I feel. You know what I mean? I felt lighter after going to that waterfall.
Right. I think that too, and I think a lot of the thing that has to do with just kind of the people that we were around.
Yeah. Super cool, chill motherfuckers.
And I feel like they're young, but dude, they're so full of life.
Yeah, they know how to live. That's what I love about these motherfuckers, bro. It's just like, I think as humans, we always get bogged down by what's next, what we have to do, what we need to accomplish, and all this stuff. And sometimes you just meet motherfuckers that are just like, bro, chill.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, look at this beautiful road. Let's jump our friend in the skateboard. It's just this dude's just like, I'm down. Just laying there like a plank while his friend fucking kit flips over him. Like, and they're just living, bro. They're jumping off these fucking giant waterfalls. Like, and when I talk to them, it's like, what do you do this? It's just like, I'm alive, like, and you have to like, it's a way of like finding yourself, of living in the moment, so for me, these guys to me are super religious and spiritual in this way, because like they're doing something that forces you to be in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Any mistake that you make while you're in the air, you will fucking hurt yourself falling from like 70 feet into the water.
Yeah.
So they have to be in the moment. They have to be in the now. And without that, like, you're fucked.
That's a crazy thing, man.
Yeah. So they're forcing themselves to be in now, in reality. And I think if you look at most spiritual practices, that's what it's about. It's like
just being in the now.
Yeah. Living today, living now, and all that shit, So and I feel like we're people that are trying to get to a place where we can live in the now, based on the things that we love to do, Yeah. So how do you be in now? The first step is like to make sure. So what are you fucking doing with your life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you going to a job that you hate? Do you live with a spouse that you can't stand? Are you just fucking doing things because people tell you to fucking do them?
Yeah.
Like, how do you snap yourself out of that? And the first step is just do a hobby that you've always been interested in. Like right now, tell me my desk doesn't look kind of cool.
Your desk looks dope. That's dope.
Like, I'm fucking trying to be a I'm not a carpenter, you know, bro. I didn't fucking pop out of Mary's pussy just fucking building cool shit, you know? But I'm out here trying to build my own furniture. I got myself a little fucking circular saw, which was pretty cheap, and I try to, like, I'm trying to make a really cool desk right now, and I have to make 2 identical ones.
Yeah.
And that brings me, like, a sense of, like, peace, I guess, because I'm creating something, and it's not going to be as cool as something I can fucking buy, but, like, I made that shit myself, and that brings me, like, such a good feeling of self-accomplishment, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be a big deal, because most people are like, it just how you got into climbing, bro. You're not gonna fucking be Alex Honnold. You're not trying to be that, bro. You're just after the fact that way that you feel, that climbing, how you figure out those fucking puzzles, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're working your whole being. If you make a mistake, you're gonna fall, you know? And, like, and in that sense, like, you're alive. So I would say the first step for anybody who's discontent with their lives is, like, find something on the side that you're not, like, invested in. Is like, this is gonna make my whole living.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And for me right now, that's carpentry. That's riding my bike. I'm riding my bike with your brother on Thursday. You know, and I'm not a fucking bike racing crazy person, you know, like, I just
fucking Lance Armstrong.
Yeah,
over
dude,
here.
I hit 20-30 miles. My fucking little ass cheeks are chafing.
You're missing
my
a
fucking
nut,
balls are hurting. Yeah,
like,
dude. So, like,
balls or balls?
my balls. But you know, that's and that's how this I guess in a sense was created, was out of that, you know, because it's like, I want to hang out with my friend, I want to pass the time. But again, why I appreciate the new name today in the Milky Way is because that reminds me of that. You know, we're just 2 fucking humans hurling through the fucking cosmos, trying to figure it out. And I guess in our sense, what we're trying to figure out, that we figured out, is like how to do the thing that you love, that doesn't seem like work, that makes you feel in the moment every day. You know? And for me, it's making little stupid stories with you. It's fucking going, hitting pads, you know, and, like, doing all these things. And how do you do that? You know, like, you gotta work hard, you gotta bust your fucking ass. But, like, it's a sort of mastery that most people are unwilling to do because they're lazy, or they're scared, or for whatever reason they have, like, some kind of blockage that's keeping them from that. And I think the whole point of even this podcast is so that me and you could keep ourselves accountable to that. You know what I mean? Like, how are you doing with your photos, bro? Tell everybody what happened this weekend about we had a major failure yet success, because we went out to film a story and take dope photos, and we both failed, you know, in a way. I feel like what happened this weekend, I feel like, so, like, first of all, like, I do, like, photography is just not my thing. Like, I'm very much into videography too, but I feel like I didn't really take that many pictures this weekend, even though I feel like it might have been, like, a really cool thing if I would have caught in stills. Yeah. But, bro, once we got there, I'm all like, dog, like, I have to video all this. Like, I just can't. And your motherfucking lens was dirty, bro. I was looking at all the footage. But you know what's good from that is we learned, right? Yeah. So next time, you know, clean your fucking lens, clean your sensor. I should just buy a new camera. Hey, stimulus check hit, bro. Fuck, son. I still haven't gotten that motherfucker, bro. Come on, Donald Trump. Buy me my camera, son. Dude, but yeah, man. I think, and the whole basis of my life and my reality and the way that I do things, you know, is based upon that. How I choose to spend my days. You know, because just August 2018, August 23rd, 2018, my AMP license expired. And pretty much that license, bro, was a fucking bitch to get. Yeah. So, you pretty much, with that license, you can work on jets, right? Yeah. And you can work on aircraft and all this shit. All the people that know about AMP licenses, they should know what the fuck it is. And I had to renew mine, and I was like, I don't want this to be my safety net. I don't want this to be my life. I don't enjoy this, you know. So I let it expire, and ever since then, I have nothing to fall back upon.
Yeah.
Right. So right now I make ends meet, dude. I haven't gotten a job because of the coronavirus. Like I'm looking for a part-time job in security and shit like that. And it's rough and it sucks that I have to do that. But a lot of the work that I was doing dried up, and I haven't had to have, I consider a real job since 2017. That's 3 years because of being able to stay as a creative. And now there are no opportunities like that because everything's shut down. So like, I'm not going to bitch and moan, like I'm just going to go back and get a fucking job or whatever. But like every day since I got out of the Marine Corps, I've decided to live for myself on my own. So like even moving into the house in that apartment, I was like, we can all grow from each other.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And those are the things that are hard to say no to, like partying and drinking too much and all that stuff. Like I feel like you're getting on it now, but I feel like even while we were living together, I think you have like FOMO, like the fear of missing out. And sometimes you just let yourself.
I actually have to say a little something about that.
Go ahead.
But I'll let you finish.
No.
I'll let you finish.
If it hits your train of thought, go for it.
All right. So like,
you see how I did that?
Yeah, but but I think, so like I do see myself doing that, but I have come to terms that like I don't want to look at it like kind of like a FOMO thing or like or a bad thing, cause like know what, like even though like I'm going towards the thing I want the most, which is like videography, photography, and like a creative lifestyle, but yet I'm not gonna lie, I like to kick it still.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I like
and
to
not
kick
very
it.
often, but the thing is, I still like to party, and like I be thinking of, like I think about it, you know what I mean. And there's
Rudy's
like,
a douchebag.
Yeah, like yeah, but like I've kind of came to terms that I feel like I need to find a good balance between the two now.
Yeah.
So I feel like I went a long time without really kicking it, and now it's me wanting to balance the two in a good way, because like I still like I need my time away from people, right?
Yeah.
But I also need time with my people. Like remember a couple weeks back when we all kicked it. We all went to the bar and we all
so fun, dude.
Like dude, like I had such a great time, and you know what I mean? It's been a little while since then.
Let me tell you, that's the first time I've hung out since November like that.
Yeah.
Not since November, since I got back on my trip, but then before that it was a whole year, and then before that it was your birthday at the fucking skating rink.
Oh yeah.
That's the last time I partied. That was 2 fucking years ago that I allowed myself to go out and party with my friends.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you. Finish your thought though, because what you were saying, because you said the few weeks ago was so fun, right?
Yeah.
But then what the fuck did you do to me because of that?
But then I bailed out on you. But that's what I need to. I saw that then, that I'm like, dude, I need to be able to kick it and proceed on like finishing things out or responsibilities that I have the next day or something like that. But that's me trying to find the balance, and I see that clearly now. I
mean, your lady, beautiful love relationship, because you guys have been together since high school, bro. And Babo is one of my best friends since growing up,
yes,
you know this. I was her main chamalan. What's up, bitch? And even she's like, yo, like it's a known fact that you do this shit to motherfuckers, bro.
Oh yeah,
when you party, so I feel like you've gotten a big handle on it lately, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like being there, being responsible, even just giving your time here. Like I have no complaints, but like even when we were partying, like I was like, hey, right now it's late, we're all having a good time, fucking doing karaoke and shit at homegirl's house, and like I was like, yo, I gotta bounce. You looked me in the eye,
I know,
and you said, don't worry, I will be there tomorrow. And I was like, all right, bro, I trust you. And then you left me hanging. Then I looked bad in front of all these people we were supposed to film. And then so like I do agree. And not talking hella shit upon you because like you haven't done that since, and I've put that much of responsibility of myself on you because also you have to learn like at this point in our relationship, if you fail me, it's my livelihood.
Right.
You understand? Like, so now, as much as like this being successful reflects on me, right? So which is why I'm stressed because I'm like, yo, bro, I gotta get really paid somehow. You know, you give me so much of your time. It's the same back. So like,
Definitely.
you know, like I'm trying to book us jobs and landing some and stuff like that, and then so it's just as much as like now you fucking with me too now. So like there will have to come a, but I really appreciate the fact that you like since that like you've been really good, but you know, like a human can't rely on somebody that fails them hella times, you know, and I feel like you're finally understanding that. And then for me, like everybody, I was talking to your sister about it the other day because she's like, why can't you just have a good time, you know, to have a good time? And I'm like, no, about me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, you can have a good time, bro. You know how to have a good time. That's why I love hanging out with you, bro.
Oh,
We
that's
throw
why
the
I was
fucking 80s parties and shit.
Shit.
Like, you guys, once a year, I allow myself to do some fucking Molly, and I party with my friends. It's usually every New Year's, and we have a tradition running now that we do an 80s dance party every New Year's, and we get down, right? And that's the only day out of the year that I really allow myself to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And so your sister, who's also a very good friend of mine, my wife, you know, you're like, hey, just take a compliment. Like, you did good. You know, like, I can't take a compliment for shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever you guys are like, yo, that's good, I'm like, yeah, but like,
but what?
yeah, like, but this is wrong, or like, dang. And then even when we party, you know, it's like, hey, bro, like, why don't you allow? Even my girl was like, hey, dude, like, go have a good time with your friends, man. Like, when we left that day, she was like, I think you should have stayed. We could have stayed. And I was like, yeah, but we got the thing tomorrow. And she's like, you always have the thing tomorrow. And I'm like, so? And then she's like, you're not allowing yourself fun. You're not allowing yourself to have compliments. And I think that's hurting you, like, your whole being, your whole person, because if you're having fun, you're always like, I can't have fun because I have this to do. And she's like, and that's bad for you. And I feel like all of you guys have been telling me this lately. So we're about to party this Friday, you know, like hang out with our homies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's why, bro.
I'm excited for that.
And that's why, because we're about to, like, we set up so we can like get drunk, me and you, and like just kind of cut loose, you know. Yeah. And I guess I feel like if I'm not working towards something, I can't allow myself to have a good time. And since I have these big aspirations, like with this podcast and all this stuff, and I take it as a full-time job, like I'm always editing, I'm always fucking doing something, I feel like whenever I have fun, everything else is falling to the wayside. And that goes against my big belief of balance and what we figured out back in that fucking apartment behind the porn theater, that you need to be able, as a human being, to be completely happy. You need to be able to balance in the way of like things that might not be necessarily good for you, but they're good for your mind. And that comes into vices, you know. Just because I'm like being creative, I'm being physical, fucking being mental, reading whatever and progressing, you know, I'm neglecting this big part of me, because all these things are super fun for me, but they're not dirty fun. You know,
I feel like you need that.
We get down, bro. I need to smoke a fucking cigarette every once in a while, bro. Like, fucking do some bad shit, dude. I think that's why I love hitting stuff so much, you know?
I feel like that's why you need the little angel, but you also need that little devil, dude, too, you know what I mean?
And I think that's what's been missing from my spiritual practice lately, is just like allowing myself some darkness, you know, in that sense. And for me, like partying and just doing like caveman shit with my friends, you know.
That kind of brings me up to this one, dude. This one thing on a movie. Doctor Strange.
Okay.
So remember the part when he meets, I forget what homegirl's name is, the
Grandmaster.
Yeah, the Grandmaster.
Yeah, I forget her fucking actual name, but
so
the bald bitch.
So
Ooh.
remember that, like, when Doctor Strange finds out that she's been messing around with the dark magic.
Oh yeah.
And she's telling them, she's like, dude, that's how you keep the balance.
Dormammu.
Yeah.
You're right, bro. That's a good fucking connection.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, it's so yin and yang, bro. You have to dabble both of them together.
Yeah.
There's not one without the other. So I feel like, and even though it sounds crazy, like sometimes when I end up doing like partying and maybe dabbling into some shit, you know, but so I feel like I'm like something that's filling up. I'm like a meter filling up, right? I hit that boiling point, and then I do what I do, right?
I gotcha.
And then, but once I do what I do, then that means I'm back at E.
Yeah.
So that means I restart, and then I go like another like month or two. Good, and then kind of builds up. I don't know. That's just kind of how I found out that I work.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I always need to let off some steam at one point.
I feel like for you, again, speaking out of terms here again, but I think you need to just recognize at the point where your E hits, and before you hurt people around you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like remember, when we were having the fireworks war on that 4th of July, and you got a little too faded, and you ruined Balboa's night. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro. Are we having an intervention?
Like little, not an intervention, because I feel like you're aware of it, but like,
definitely.
I think instead of being like, well, that's how I work, is like, how do I work more efficiently to get to that point and reset, and not like hurt the people around me, and not that you're not hurting the people around you, but like mild inconveniencing at this point. But back, I think when we were younger, you would kind of fuck us up. You know what I mean? In a way. And
I was bad,
and we're all learning that, and we've all, and what's good about it, like the type of friendship that me, you, and Alec have, is like we can be brutally honest with each other, you know, like Alec's fucking problem, I hope you don't mind my homie saying this, but like with intimacy, you know what I mean, where he had like a weird issue about being intimate or like being emotional. So like, what did we do? We would hold hands when we walk in the forest at night. And you know he was uncomfortable, bro. But it's like, this is what we have to do, bro. You have a problem being intimate. Let's do some gay shit, you know? And not like, yo.
Not that type of gay shit.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I've kissed Alec before. I feel like, cause you remember when we get fucked up, that motherfucker always be trying to kiss me on the lips, bro.
Bro, fuck
you know what I'm saying? So one time I was like, bro, all right, I'll let you kiss me in the lips, and then we kissed on the lips, like just mwah. And then he was like, see, that shit wasn't gay. I love you, bro. And I'm like, I guess you're right. I love you too, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that, yeah, you know. But I guess what's good with us is that we're always willing to work on the things that are fucking wrong with us, and we always just like put it out there, you know, like hard, you know, like, yo, this is what you're doing wrong. And it's just like, as best friends, what we do is we beat the shit out of each other, and then we just fucking deal with it. Yeah, you know.
I feel like before me, I didn't open up. I didn't talk about my feelings. I didn't talk about my feelings at all.
For real, bro. You're a fucking steel box.
Balboa would try and like squeeze shit out of me, but I'm like, girl, you ain't getting shit out of me. You know what I mean? And then that's just kind of how I grew up.
Why is that? Because I feel like for a long time that made you really cool as a person. Like, you used to be one of the coolest kids at our school, bro. Like, you name a few kids, Rodolfo's name is in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck has a tattoo when they're like 14? And is driving a car when you're like, what, like fucking 13 years old? You got your own fucking car, bro. Like, and it's just like, yo, this man's a mystery, bro. Sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not. And then next thing you know, you like show up with a bunch of drugs. Next thing you know, you're like, somebody's getting beat up from the Mexicans. We used to have race wars at our schools. And then you guys show up with fucking heat, homie. And then next
Damn.
thing you know what I mean? Like, you're just at the most randomest places. You remember when that motherfucker from the quinceañera, bro, he made me quit the quinceañera because I don't want to say the girl's name, but the fool's name was Ardilla or some shit.
Oh,
And
that
you fucking smacked that
motherfucker.
motherfucker up for me, bro. Like, who
Damn.
does shit like that? Rodolfo, bro. Like, I don't know. We're just quiet, just smacking people up for your shit, bro. You fuck with my boy.
No,
So I feel like why I feel like that worked for you when we were younger, but
Yeah.
like how did you become so quiet and like emotionless?
I don't know. I think I think the way my dad kind of raised me, and I don't want to just blame my dad. I kind of,
Yeah, because you have a good dad. You have
Yeah.
a good family.
but I also, I think so. I think it has to do with my dad, like growing up, and then him putting that on me, especially me being the firstborn. You know what I mean?
Putting what?
Like, so like my dad's dad was tough,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like my grandpa was a drunk,
Mm-hmm.
did drugs and shit, and he would rather go to the bar and spend money on buying everyone drinks instead of like feeding his kids.
Oh, okay.
So it was like that type of things
Yeah,
for my
yeah,
dad.
yeah.
So it's like and then I remember this one time my dad told me, he's like, dude, like this is kind of why I have like so much kind of like anger towards your grandpa. I told him I was hungry one night and he beat the shit out of me.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
so
could
I
imagine
mean,
your
yeah,
dad,
so he's all
yeah.
like, bro, he beat the shit out of me. That's why like I don't. She's like, I fuck with him, but I don't fuck with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's my
yeah,
dad,
yeah.
but like, he's like, fuck it, whatever. So like, I think with like him growing up like that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like he couldn't show any feelings growing up because he would just get his ass kicked.
Gotcha.
So like growing up, he didn't say shit. So as growing up as like having us, especially me being his first kid, where he tells everything to his first kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would try and be a little harder with me,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, bro, you just can't.
You gotta be a man.
You just gotta be a man. You just gotta like fucking take shit as it is. So I would,
yeah.
you know, and then, but like I don't blame him.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how
And that
he's
makes
raised.
sense.
And
That makes sense.
my dad had me when he was 19, so it's like I can't expect a 19-year-old to fucking know how to be a dad.
Yeah.
You know. So I think it came from that, but then I can also see it from my mom. My mom's awesome, but like my mom is not a very emotional person either. I mean, you
Bro,
remember my mom back in
yeah,
the
bro,
day.
I love your mom, bro, but this bitch did not even acknowledge me for 2 whole years of our friendship, bro.
Right, so just walk by someone.
Yeah, I remember the first time that I felt like I was part of the fucking Pacheco family. Bro, I'm at your house every day. So like, let me paint you guys a picture. I'm at this motherfucker's house every day. Everything. Your dad liked me after like the first year because he knew I was a good kid and shit. But like, bro, Rodolfo's mom never even fucking looked me in the eye. Never acknowledged I was real. Then one time I'm walking up the stairs. It's like 2.5 years into our relationship, and she goes, "Isaac, do you want to eat relleno negro with us?" And I'm just like shaking, bro, because I'm like, what? You're inviting me to eat? Like, yeah, dude. And then ever since then, she's been hella cool to me and stuff. But like, yeah, your mom is hard, bro. Like, if she don't know you, if she doesn't have your trust, bro, like you might as well be a fucking ghost. And she don't even believe in ghosts, homie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she's a hard bitch, bro. I love your mom, bro. She's hardcore. She's dope. That makes sense. So you feel like, and especially being the firstborn, that it's hard to share your emotions and stuff like that, or
Yeah, I just feel like I had to. I don't know. I think it contributes to like everyone in my family, because I feel like everyone in my family like that. You know my family, right?
I love your family. Yeah,
I just
know
feel like
all of
I
them.
just had to be a rock around them.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't show no type of emotion because it'd be like, bitch, this and that. So like I set up that boundary. I'm like, know what? I'm gonna be like this. I ain't gonna show no emotion. You know, I felt like I wanted to be. The thing to do was kind of be like heartless in a way.
Yeah, your whole family. Well, the not so legal part of your family is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Till this day, your cousin is the scariest human being I've ever met in my whole.
Right.
He still scares me, bro. And I could fuck. I zero doubt in my mind I'll fuck that motherfucker up. But you know what? I'm still scared of him. He's just got that thing, bro, where you're just like, don't fuck with that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like and like even your other cousin, you know, like all of you guys, bro. I used to have a big crush on Anna. Shout out, girl.
No.
But all you guys are just heartless, bro. Like you go to dinner at this guy's family, bro, and they'll be like, it's just so funny to think about because they're at dinner, bro. Like, and they're not even fighting, but they'll be like, "Tell me that fucking salt," and then be like, "Don't fucking tell me the fucking salt." And then it's just like you guys are just yelling across each other, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, they're fighting! They're fighting in front of me. Where do I look?" And all of a sudden, you guys start laughing and you start talking shit, and I'm like, "Wait, I thought you guys were just fighting," and you're like, "Nah, bro, that's just the way that we talk. That's how we talk." You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you guys talk like you guys are fucking hardened fucking prison inmates and like yeah, like, man.
Get that
so,
shit over. Yeah.
but
I feel like I just kind of so like growing up with that, then I feel like that's just kind of that's how I had to be. And
that's
then
true.
like at one point like it kind of it sucks to say, but like at one point kind of so like with my older cousins and shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point I really wanted that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool too.
So like at one point I really wanted that. I mean, dude, like there was times where like I would do some like shit and fucking my cousin would get all the attention for it. I'm like, motherfucker, I did all that.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, you know what I mean? But I mean, he did a lot more.
Yeah,
but like
crazy. I feel like you're
just kind of
you were always like that silent guy.
yeah.
That like when shit really went down or something happened, like you're the first person to react. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll give an example. Like you're just a reaction kind of guy. Like which is what I love about you. But also sometimes I'm like, are you retarded or are you a genius? Somewhere in the middle. But like that one time where that fucking car, bro, like a fucking car blew up right in front of us. It was raining. We were going to a Halloween party, and this fucking BMW passes us. We're going already like 65 some on this fucking road, and we live in the Pacific Northwest. It's rainy. Some roads are really dangerous. We're on the freeway, and this BMW passes us easily going 90, 95. Skids out of control as it passes us, and it flips right in front of us, and it crashes onto this giant like concrete cement medium
thing, huh?
And I'm telling you guys, it's like a fucking movie. The car crashes into the wall going full speed. The car explodes, and I'm in the front seat. Rodolfo's driving, and I just go ah. And because as the car explodes, car debris is flying towards us. And Rodolfo's fucking driving his little fucking car, and he just goes like this, puts his hand on me to protect me from what I don't know, and he's just like do 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 do, and I'm like this, I'm like he's fucking dodging vehicle debris that are coming at us at like hundreds of miles an hour, and a fucking tire. Like the before I close my eyes, I just go like this, and I see this fucking tire fly by as Rodolfo like skids out of it. And it barely misses him on the driver's seat side. And then, and the car's slipping, and he fucking lets go of me, fixes the fucking Tokyo Drift shit. The car skids back into control. And we're like, ah. We look back, and it's just fire, bro, and debris. And then right down the road, there's another car accident as, like, we're slowing down. And there's clearly dead people. This cop is pulling out of the fucking cars and shit. And we roll up, and we're like, bro, some people just blew up back there. And he's like, fuck. And he, like, makes the call, and then we go to the Halloween party.
That cop had a shitty night, dog. Like, bro. Literally back to
back into accidents, dude.
Yeah.
And but that's the type of guy Rodolfo is. Like, he always just reacts perfect. Like, I remember there's so many weird shit that's happened in our growing up togetherness. Like when we were doing donuts in your car, and you and you stop right in front of that cop.
Yeah.
Like we're doing donuts, we don't even fucking know. We're just high as fuck, and the car like slides, Tokyo drift slides right in front of a cop car, and I'm like deer in the headlights. And next thing I know, it's like just fucking whizzing through, bro. As you're like running away from the cops, and we got away, like always some shit like that. So I just feel like you're a reaction kind of guy. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's why I'm so calm.
Yeah.
I'm saving the energy from when
I
I
guess
really need
so,
it.
man. But I will give you this. I think like in the years that we've been living together, or we were living, and as we've developed, you're more in tune with your emotions. But like,
Definitely.
yeah,
I feel like I've cried in front of you multiple times now.
yeah.
When
Same
I never
here.
did that before. I'm like, fuck
Rem-
yeah, I don't need to cry at all, bro.
Remember the very first unreleased podcast when we were trying to get the thing down,
Yeah.
and we were like, "I love you," and
Oh,
we were like,
yeah.
"Fucking cry." Yeah, that's gay,
archive
bro.
shit right there. You'll probably get
Yeah.
that shit in 10 years.
Maybe, bro. I don't even know if I still have those.
No.
I do. I have them. on my
Okay,
hard drive.
better.
Yeah. But do you say now like you still, because I noticed like now more towards the future, sometimes you just like when you get too fucked up is when you like kind of blow up, you know?
Emotionally?
Yeah. So do you think that you need to like release emotions still more?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I think when you were talking about earlier today about like, you know, your physical, your like mental kind of like, you know what I mean? I think with me, I feel like it's mostly physical.
Oh shit.
Like when I really like, and then I feel like I need to balance a little more, and I feel like my emotions have to. I do a really good job of releasing like energy physically a lot. Like that's my thing. I can do that very well. But I feel like mentally, like my mental health, I feel like my emotions, I feel like I still need to work on that.
Damn.
Like I wouldn't say a lot, but like definitely a little more, you know? I feel like I need to find that little balance or that I'd like that routine. I don't know, something routine.
What are you playing with, bro?
I need to piss.
Oh shit, bro! Let's pause this real quick, bro.
Pause.
Just hit that pause button, you little fucking weak ass bitch. No bladder having ass. So, now that you're back from your piss, bro, how you feeling?
Relieved.
Yeah, I feel like when we get
Relieved.
kind of tipsy in these, you know, like the emotions flow a lot better. But talking about how do you think as progressing forward, because you know, like there's a lot of fucking hard dudes out there. I don't know if there's a lot of hard dudes that listen to this podcast, but like I feel like it's very important to be a type of person that can be in tune with your emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, what was one of the things that I feel like you got a ways to go? You know what I mean? And let me tell you how I know that. Because when I was younger, I would get really drunk and I would start trying to fight people. And you know Edler, you know, he's one of my best friends in the world, but there was a point in time where he like broke up with me in relationship was as my friend, because every time we would go out and we would go out to Wilmington, North Carolina, bro, I would get faded and I would start fucking people up. And you know I could fight.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that.
And you want some vino?
Simón.
Yeah, vas a manejar bien, güey, pero
We're about to eat after this, no?
yeah, I'll give you, yeah. Yo, you guys, every time after we finish this podcast, bro, we go make some fucking food, and sometimes it's late as fuck. Right now it's only 10, so we good. All right, you good, bro.
As long as I make it home before 1 o'clock.
Yeah, bro, I'm
Sure.
not letting you drunk drive. You know, I'm a responsible.
No,
human
definitely.
being,
That's fine.
puto.
As long as I can get home
Nope.
before
You-
Uno.
that's in the- Yeah, I got you. Okay, if you're good with that, I'm good with it. But it took me a while to realize that I just had so much anger inside of me, bro. That when I would get drunk, it would bubble to the surface, you know. And the way that it would bubble is I would get in fights, no matter what. Like I'd just pick a fight.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where people didn't want to be friends with me anymore. And you know, like a lot of people are like, yeah, you know, once you start doing mushrooms or like psychedelics and you get spiritual and all this stuff, your life. That's not the case. It wasn't the case for me because I was like deep into like my spiritual practice and beliefs. But like, it almost felt like when I got too fucked up, like I got possessed by something, you know, and it's just
Yeah.
anger.
I want to throw something out there. I feel like me, as far as like going in like my spiritual like journey and stuff like that, like I can, like I feel in one with myself, but like once I get deeper into that,
Bro, yours has more than mine, dog. Give me a second, dog. Come on, dog. Anyways, once you get deeper into that,
once I get deeper to that, sometimes I feel like I'm pushing back that devil down.
oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know if I'm going about it. I don't know if my practices are going about it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I feel like they might be. You
Okay.
know, like I might. There's something that I'm not practicing that I maybe should be, because that dark side, I feel like I'm pushing it back, but I'm not getting rid of it. It's just being like I'm stiff arming it.
Yeah.
For now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I feel like when I get out, like when I start drinking or I drink too heavily, because like right now I'm fine.
Yeah, it comes out.
But once I start getting like I'm drunk,
Mm-hmm.
then it's easier for that dark side to come out recklessly. You know what I mean?
If you will allow me to give some advice on that, I would love to, because I feel like I'm very familiar with that. And
I'm all ears.
What ended up happening is, at this point, when you have a dark thing that you push aside, is because you know that it's really bad, right? And you know that you shouldn't be in bed with those emotions, in a sense. Like you're smart enough to recognize, like, this is an unhealthy emotion, that I feel this way, and I will just suppress it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But over time, that builds up. And let's think about a human has a buildup of like 80, whatever units you want to use, 80 zells, let's call it, right? And once you get to your 80 zells, you're going to start fucking people up, which you have done before in my presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you blow up and do these things, kind of like how I used to pick these fights when I would get to my 80 zells. And the whole point in trying to get through that and not get to the 80 zells, which is kind of when I was mentioning earlier, like, hey, you know, sometimes I know that you haven't been partying and doing all these things, but then at times when you finally let yourself do that, sometimes you'll go overboard, right? And then you leave me hanging and do those things, whatever. But so you first, I had to recognize that I only have 80 zells. Then I have to recognize when I'm getting to 70, right? So you have to be able to let yourself know, like, hey, this is wrong in my life right now. And a lot of the times what we do in those points is like you ignore it. And the way that you ignore it is like, I'm going to watch, for me, The Office. So I don't have to think about it. So I don't have to deal with the fact that somehow I am lacking as a human being in a way that really upsets me, right? So whenever you get really upset because you're lacking as a human being, that's 10 zells right there, right? And slowly, you know, whatever it is, whether you let your girlfriend down or you didn't do good enough at your job or you get in trouble at your job, sometimes that adds another 10 zells. But then you don't want to realize that. Let's say I just fucked up at my job and I go, it was not my fault. It was the fucking driver and blah, blah, blah. You know, you're adding 10 cells, but you're not really dealing with the situation that, like, hey, I was careless because I did this and this and that. And I'll give a perfect example, you know, like my partner, she had an issue that I thought was a non-issue. That was my tobacco. That I thought was not a non-issue because, like, my life is hard. It has been hard. Your life has been hard. That's why we're good friends. Something that she was upset about, to me, the type of emotion she showed was the type of hardness and emotion that I've seen on somebody losing a mother, you know? Somebody being murdered, you know? So I was like, I gave her shit for it. And I build up, let's say, doing that because I was like, bro, why are you being like this? I myself earned 10 cell because I didn't stop to think like, hey, this to you is that important, and I haven't allowed myself to grieve what I went through because I saw somebody get murdered, and it's a long thing. I kind of brought it up in the wrong way, but like pretty much like for me, the type of grieving is the type of grieving I've seen somebody do when their mother got murdered. I saw this lady get killed with a frying pan when I was a little kid, bro. And what happened was I was those kids that their mom got killed with the frying pan by their dad. They were like some of my best friends in Mexico. And what happened was they got taken into an orphanage. So I saw them grieve, right? And when I think about being through a dramatic experience, such as seeing a lady get killed with a frying pan, for me, I don't allow myself to be like, damn, poor Isaac, you saw a lady get killed with a frying pan, because I saw her children, who were my friends, grieving and like, my mom is dead. Sorry. No. And so I've never let myself like feel over that. Yeah. Right? And so that has a buildup of 10 cell. Like, let's say that's that currency that we're using. Yeah. So as these emotions start building up that I refuse to deal with because I don't want to be open with myself about it because it's too painful to deal with, it builds up, until I'm like fucking punching people in the streets because I'm so angry. Right? So what I've come to terms with is sometimes you have to, and whatever it is that takes you there, could be going for a walk with no phone, no nothing. It could be taking a bath, which I recommend. It could be, like just sitting there and meditating and letting these emotions, these things that your failures, and accepting them and letting yourself know like, hey, it's okay because I want to change. Until you start doing stuff like that, you will build up this currency that makes you angry and it makes you lash out and act out. So in this sense, I saw my girlfriend have an emotion that I've seen somebody else had over death for something that wasn't death, and I got upset at her for having that emotion, Mm-hmm. And that's not fair for me to do to her because of my past. And the only reason that has happened was because I haven't been able to deal with that, because I myself don't feel like I deserve to be that vulnerable because I didn't lose a mom. Somebody else lost a mom. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, it's really hard to be honest with yourself when these emotions are building up. But the important part of this whole thing that I'm talking about is you have to find a way, which is unique only to you. I can't tell you what my way is, of being honest with yourself and being like, hey, I'm angry about these things. Whether it's like you're not being creative enough. Somebody doesn't want to listen to you enough. Somebody, like whatever the reason is, you have to be able to find a way to tell yourself like, hey, this makes me feel less than I want to feel. And once you're able to recognize that, then you can find a way to deal with it. So for me, like in this example that I'm telling you, is something that I'm actually really struggling with right now, because I still cannot let myself grieve for seeing a lady get smashed by a frying pan because those kids were my best friends. Yeah. So I can't be like, oh, I feel poor Isaac. But I know that's the emotion I need to feel to get over it. But every time I start getting to that, oh, poor Isaac, you saw a lady get killed with a frying pan, I'm like, what about her fucking sons? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can't let myself deal with it. So I'm trying to find my own way to allow myself to like cry or grieve over that. And this is specifically dealing with grief, but like maybe in your instance or in your way, it's like maybe you needed to let an emotion out, whether it's like you're getting upset over something and you're fucked up. So whatever it is that you've been pushing down is coming to bubbling, because when you're drunk, all your defenses go down because you're more emotional and stuff. So everything you've been neglecting is about to explode, right? So the only way to deal with that is to, when you're not fucked up, deal with those things that you don't want to deal with. So for whatever it is for you, whether it's like not being creative enough, not being able to climb, not being, whatever it is, you have to find your own way to like kind of deal with it just a tiny bit, you know? It might not cure the itch of climbing, but maybe you climb the roof of your house. You know, like something out there that you have to try, but in order to get there, you have to first be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And
No,
I feel like
there's definitely a lot of truth in that.
and another reason, nah, I'm not gonna say the only reason, but like why I love our friendship is because we're able to call each other out on all those things, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially Alec, he shit talks us down, bro.
I feel like no, dude, that's definitely something that I feel like everyone needs. You know, I mean, I remember reading this thing. I saw like a real friend is someone that talks shit to you in your face.
Yeah.
But talks you up behind your back.
I feel like that's our whole relationships.
Yeah.
All of us, all my friends, all of you guys. I love you guys. Not because I'm just drunk, but now I want to ask you a hard question. You know, in front of everybody that listens to this, all 80 of you guys. I love you guys.
88.
Yay. What do you think is that gets you to that point of like starting to swing on people? Because I've seen you there multiple times.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's just kind of I think it all really depends on the night, but like me trying to like think back on it, like it's kind of hard to say. I think I just want to be bigger than I actually am. I mean, and not in a sense of like physically or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it gets to the point of me. Damn, I don't know. I feel like I just have something to prove.
Yeah? What is
like
that?
I want something to prove. Like I want. And I honestly, I don't really know why. But
well, I know the answer why for you to prove something is because, let's not get this twisted, nigga. I said a bad word, but you can fight.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like that's why you revert to like picking a fight with some big motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Because like, let's say you and Alec did have to get in a fight, bro. I got my money on you. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like, you know how to fucking fight. We grew up fucking boxing. We grew up fighting. Like, so I feel like that's one of the things that you're the most confident in, right? So I feel like that's why you revert to that. So like, whenever you start getting too faded, I have noticed that this guy, some big motherfucker will say something, and then you're like, "What's up, doc?" You know what I mean? And you'll pick a fight with them and stuff like that. And I feel like how you said you feel like you have something to prove, and then you fuck up the biggest guy in the room.
Yeah, I see that. I see that because honestly, I do feel like that. Because like I guess what I can say about that is that like with you, like dog, you have a mouthpiece on you. Everyone knows you got a mouthpiece on you. Like you can talk your way in or out of any situation.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have that. Like I don't have that mouthpiece. So like when something like gets down, like my blood starts boiling, and bro, all that fucking blood flow goes to my fist. Because it's literally kind of the only real way I know how to handle a situation.
Is violence?
I mean, it depends on the situation.
We just want to thank our sponsor, Copenhagen Wintergreen, who isn't really our sponsor, but if we had a sponsor, this is where it would go in. Now
also Mr. Carlo Rossi and Jose Cuervo.
Yeah, bro, we've been fucking getting faded tonight, but let me tell you why the whole mouthpiece thing. I appreciate you saying that, but I had to work at that, dude.
Yeah.
Since I was like, a reason why you're one of my best friends, and even when you let me down, you know, like, bro, one of my best friends that you was a good friend of mine, that was a good friend of yours, the Big W Haitian guy.
Oh yeah.
He's no longer in my life. Right?
At all.
And I grew up with him, bro. Like, I can still go. His family still comes to my family gatherings.
Yeah.
Guess who's not allowed? Him. And his family loves my family so much that they still come to my house. I hang out with his fucking daughter, dude.
Yeah.
He's not allowed. He let me down so bad. But the thing with you, because you've let me down in similar ways. right? I'm not gonna put you on blast because that's between us. But everybody gets 3, you know? That's my rule. Yeah. Everybody gets 3. You've only really failed me in that 3-way one time. And but besides that, I feel like if it wasn't for you being such a good person to me during high school, where I really needed that, like I know a lot of people don't. I've never talked about this, but like like I've tried to commit suicide before. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
you mentioned it. Damn, am I slurring though?
Yeah, a little bit. Where we kind of faded, but like if it wasn't for your kind of friendship when we were younger and just letting me be and taking me in and letting me do crazy shit at your house, like drugs and stuff, I feel like I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I feel like, yeah, 100%. And I feel like if it could be because you're stupid or really smart. But I feel like you're an emotional type of being and you know how to let people just be, and you know how to just be around people that are just being, because you're so quiet. You just do your thing. And then you just be like, I'm doing my thing. They'll do their thing. And I think that's such a good thing as a young boy to be around for me. Right. So I think if it wasn't for you in that sense, I would be a lot more like troubled. Yeah. So I forgot where I was going with this, but I think when it comes down to the whole emotional build up and stuff now, I feel like I learned to master it in the sense of the whole mouthpiece that you're talking about is because I was like in a similar situation where it's just like, man, like I need to be bigger than this. I need to be more. And nobody would really fuck with me. And the only way after like when I joined the Marine Corps and did all this other shit, the only reason people were my friends is because they were scared of me. Yeah. And that's what I like, something you empowered me with, in a sense, not that people being scared of me, but like you propping me up and like helping me become more of my own. And I mean, all this ghetto fucking hardcore shit we were up into, like last episode I talked about like robbing a store with my friend and just doing sketchy shit with you, like I learned to be like a hard motherfucker in a sense. But then the only reason people loved me was because they were scared to get on my bad side. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is like, once I realized that, I didn't have a mouthpiece. I don't know if you remember me back in high school like that. I didn't have a mouthpiece like that. Like I was more quiet. I would try to dress like all you motherfuckers.
It wasn't as developed, but I still think you had a little mouthpiece.
You think so?
Hell
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because I asked out Jeffrey's sister, and when I thought I was cool, and she was like, "You're not cool enough to date me, bro."
Fuck her,
So like, I feel like my mouthpiece developed. Don't say her name, but I feel like my mouthpiece developed after I realized that you can't just expect people to think you don't have anything to prove, because I feel like when you're saying like, I just feel like I gotta be bigger than this, I think that's just because you're unhappy with yourself in a sense. And the way that I fixed that was by reading a lot, by trying to learn new facts or new things, so that when anybody came around me, I could always impress them in a way. And I feel like that's how really my mouthpiece developed. Okay. Because I was always like, I need to attain new information. I need to attain new knowledge. And I think that helped me back then, but now it's hurting me. Yeah. Because I'm not allowing myself to have fun. I'm not allowing myself to be in the moment, because I'm always like, I need to put something else, some new technology, like I need to download more shit from the ether. Yeah. And like, it's not letting me live in the moment. Okay. Whereas it was helping me back then. Now, in this moment in time, it's hurting me. Okay. So
I see. Okay, I see. I see. Well, I feel like that's kind of like when me and you kind of like our ways kind of, I mean, didn't go divided. I don't really know how to explain it, but like, so for you went that way. For me, it was always physical. Because I feel like for me, again, like you were saying, like I was really good, like athletically.
Yeah.
Athletically.
Wrestling, bro, you're in all that shit.
So like I was like that's how I felt like I would prove myself the best. So unlike me, like developing like mentally or like mentally more like mindfully, I guess. I don't know. Like for me, it's all physical, you know. So I feel like I've always been athletic. So the way that like I would like boost confidence and do all this stuff was physically.
Oh.
So like I guess I put my whole like mental, my whole like that aspect of like that aspect of growth to the side.
Oh.
So for me it was a little just kind of not stuff that I built. So like for you, I guess you went towards like mentally working on that mouthpiece where I've took the other way and I went physically. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. So now that means you just got to develop your mouthpiece.
So yeah, I mean that's definitely something that I've been wanting to do, and I think coming on doing this podcast was my way of doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say it works because I've been tallying the, you know what I'm saying? You've only got 3.
Oh,
and we've been fucking running for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, dude.
That's good, bro.
So yeah, so like in a lot, because I mean, dude, when I first started this podcast, I told you, dude, I was nervous. I didn't really know what to talk about. I was shy. I didn't really say much. Like the first podcast, the first podcast we did, Alex told me, she's like, dude, yeah, you didn't really say much, but, and like now I feel like me and you have a good, kind of a cohesive, like style. Like we flow a lot better.
Yeah, I would say so.
You know.
Yeah.
So this is my approach to finally work on that mouthpiece and not be so quiet and kind of be more outspoken.
I gotcha. That's good, man. And I can commend you for that because I definitely say like we did probably about 4 or 5 podcasts before we even released one. You know?
Yeah.
So I guess my only thing would be to the people out there, you know, like in terms of like finding a balance that works for you, that makes life bearable, you know, like the first step is to really, which is what we did, is try to get some activities going where you can let all the anger you have in. For me, it's fucking hitting shit. For you, it's climbing. What is it for anybody out there? You know, like find your own piece. And
that can be sewing, knitting.
Yeah. Right now, I'm getting really into. I'm trying to learn how to sew, but that Japanese style of sewing, where like you make like really cool patterns in the patches that you fix and stuff. I know the one that with the plates, it's called kintsugi, where you break something and you fix it with gold. Have you heard about that? And I'm doing the same thing for like clothes, you know? Yeah. And I'm trying to get into that. But another thing is like carpentry for me. I've been making shit out of wood. I made that desk. I made this desk, you know, and it really does make me feel accomplished in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? So
I feel, what was I going to say? Oh, keep talking. I totally
No, that was about it.
But I feel like I feel like people sometimes they like things that they feel accomplished about can vary. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like people gotta know that even like the smallest little thing, you know, can be very fulfilling.
Yeah. You know? And the first thing, and you brought that up earlier about the yin and yang, one of the first rules into esoterics, right, which I'm into in a way, and I don't really like talking about it because I feel weird about it, but I think I'm going to be more open about it because, you know, just another day in the Milky Way, baby.
Just another day.
And the first stage is figuring out, I guess, maybe it's not the first stage, but it's the as above, so below, you know? That's an esoteric thing, but it goes in with the yin and yang. And many places around the world have figured out a way to find that law. You know, like in Mayan and Aztec and Latin American tribes, it's the galactic butterfly. And that's really just a representation of, like, you have to see what you exceed in and what is the opposite of that. So in a sense, that yin and yang, you have to be able to balance it, because even if you're doing too much good or too much something, the opposite is being created at the same time. And you need to learn how to balance that. So for you, in this example, you put so much effort into developing physically and being a physical stud that the way that you express yourself when you're frustrated is physically, when the actual way that you should express yourself is verbally. And that's that yang to that yin that was created. So you need to be able to balance it out. And I think that's at the stage that you're at right now.
Definitely.
And for me is allowing myself to not work as hard, or just be able to pat myself in the back for something, which I never allow myself in, which is what all you guys have been telling me. Alec, Callie, no, everybody's like, hey bro, like, you gotta let yourself be proud of yourself or something.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, there's times too, like, you're my best friend, and like there's times where, like, dude, I do want to hit you up and be like, hey, like, dog, let's just go to the bar, you know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
I feel like sometimes I can't really tell you that, you know what I mean? Just because, like, you know, you're in that little mindset, you know? And like, I would like to hit you up and be like, dog, let's just go to the bar and like have a couple drinks, you know what I mean? And kind of just like blow off some steam. So,
yeah, I feel like I'm trying to learn that. So this Friday will be like my first really dipping into that, and I'm like, to everybody out there, I'm like really nervous about it, because
let's say dipping into that in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
In a while, because we used to do that
often. Yeah, and
but now like lately, in like, let's say the past like 2 years, hasn't been there at all.
Yeah, and I think it's been driven by the fact that I just want to succeed in this that I'm doing, but it really has taken a toll on me.
Definitely.
And I kind of lost my way in that sense, and I want to kind of be able to still be able to appreciate the senseless moments of just being with your friends and allowing yourself. So I really appreciate you guys, because you guys are letting me take my recording equipment to this place, that I still feel like I'm doing something beneficial. But really, all I'm trying to learn how to do is to let go. You know, and you're right, it's been about 2 years since I've been able to let go, and besides being on the bus, but even then I was being really hard on myself. I need to learn how to just let go and live in the moment without being overthinking or over spiritual or over whatever the fuck it is that I'm doing, because everybody in my life that really loves me has brought that up and be like, hey man, like, you need to be able to just be.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Going off of that, I feel like it's a good ending point, you know?
For real.
Yeah, so today in the Milky Way, you guys got to hear two fucking Mexican boys talk about their deepest insecurities and stuff like that. And, you know, as well as today in the Milky Way, you know, shit's going crazy with our government, with the world, and it's never going to be the same. But I feel like that's okay, as long as you can figure out a way to be at peace with that. And that's what happened today in the Milky Way galaxy, bro. As we're rotating around the sun, as we're rotating around the Milky Way, around this fucking black hole that it will eventually consume us. I hope that you guys are able to find some peace, and if you haven't yet, like, work towards that, you know? And if you haven't subscribed yet, why? Help us out. Love us. Be one of us. Yeah. Anyways.
If you choose.
Yeah. We'll catch you guys next time on Today on the Milky Way. Hey. Peace, peace, peace.